Okay.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. Fox News.
Or like Dave, you doing on YouTube? Hi, everybody. I'm channel on YouTube. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of.
And they talk like this a lot.
Yeah. I thought you gotta do it though.
It'll be like.
Well, Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and give it freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, and to the saints watching in on the camera. But no peace to the wicked. The only thing we got for them is repent that they might live. You know, that girl I work with, she was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So one person from work added me, then like different people from work started adding me on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I need to put something on my go ahead, enter at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? I just start putting that to enter at your own darn risk.
You like accepted the friend request?
Well, it don't matter. My page is public anyway. Anybody can look at it. You know what I'm saying? But one, you know what I'm saying? But one girl, you know what I'm saying? My homegirl work. She watched it. She is like, I started watching it. Then I got to, you know what I'm saying? We got one thing for the wicked, repent, and I turned it off. That's about right. That's about right. Like, I turned it off of that. I was like, yeah, go. I was like, yeah, you only got about 2 seconds into that thing, yo. That's how I go.
That's hilarious.
But I thank the Most High God for it. You know what I'm saying? I like go. You know what I'm saying? You put people in the position and make a decision. That's all we want. That's all we looking for. You know what I'm saying? We love for it to go the way of the Most High God. Well, it's always going to go his way. But we love for people to walk in the righteousness of the Most High God. But we know that our expectation ain't that, right? Our expectation can't be that because that ain't what the book say. That don't make sense. The book don't say it, right? Book say it's going to be how many? A lot? Many?
You can sit down there and just pay attention.
Right? Book say few. Right? Book say it's a narrow road. Book say it's only a few. So you only going to get a few. What I'm saying and look like everybody out run across going to be worshiping the Most High God, walking in the Word.
Head up and pay attention.
You know what I'm saying? Most I can hope is that you give it to somebody and guess what they do? Make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Get them off of the fence. That's all we need to look for. Get them off of that darn fence. Where we starting tonight? What we got?
TJ, come here.
Hezekiah.
Come here.
Hezekiah, what up? Hezekiah chapter 2. All right. What verse?
What do you need to say?
9.
Huh?
So what you thought?
Do 9, I guess.
Hezekiah, okay. Hezekiah chapter 2, verse 9. Go ahead. Y'all just let me know when y'all find it.
I meant Hosea.
Talking about some Hezekiah chapter 2, verse 9. You just let me, when y'all get there, let me know. Matter of fact, y'all read it.
I meant Hosea chapter 2, verse 9.
No, we ain't not doing Hosea.
Why?
Give me something in the New Testament.
Why? The New Testament wouldn't exist without the Old Testament, so.
You right. You preaching the word, ain't you?
2 Peter.
Careful with that.
2 Peter.
All right, it's 2 Peter. What we got? Didn't you call 2 Peter the last time?
Yes, you did. Maybe.
1 John.
Didn't you call you got the same 3 books?
3 John.
All right, 3 John. What we got? The 3rd epistle of John. What verse?
Like one chapter.
Nah, we already good. 3rd epistle of John. What verse? TJ, give me a number.
18.
All right, it's 3rd epistle of John. Do it go to 18?
No, it's like one chapter.
Yeah, I don't think it go to 18. Give me another number, TJ.
21.
Thanks, TJ. Goodness gracious, I can't buy good help around here. All right, it's 3rd epistle of John, verse 9.
John don't even got 3 epistles.
He do.
He got, oh yes.
He got 3.
See, I know what I was talking about.
3rd epistle of John, verse, what we do?
Go along with it.
What we do? What
Verse
verse?
9.
Verse 9. It's 3rd epistle of John, verse 9. Come on, let's get to it.
I wrote unto the congregation.
He said he wrote unto the congregation.
But Diotrephes, who loved to have the preeminence among them, receives us not.
And Diotrephes, who love to have the preeminence among them, you know, what does that mean when he say he love to have the preeminence?
He like to be the most famous, like to be the boss.
He likes to be the man. You know what I'm saying? He want everybody, when he walk in, he want everybody to be like, there he is, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He wants the preeminence. He wants to come first, right? So he likes to have the preeminence amongst them. What happened after that?
Receiving us not.
Okay, so he didn't receive us. Why?
Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he does, prating against us with malicious words, and not continue.
So if I come, I'm going to forgive his evil.
I will remember his deeds which he does.
If I come, I ain't even going to worry about that because they ain't got nothing to do with me.
I will remember his deeds which he does.
I mean, that's what these good Christians try to tell us, right? That's not book. When do we forgive people?
After you go to him and you say, hey, you was wrong, right? We talk it out, right? We agree, all right, we good.
When they ask for it. That's the book. Required book say if a person asks you for forgiveness, then you forgive them of their debt.
God killed you.
Right?
Well, I guess that's what it is.
Ain't nothing wrong with forgiving people without that. Don't get me wrong now. Ain't nothing wrong. You ain't committing no sin if you say, well, I'm just going to forgive them anyway. That's fine too. Right? But this idea that I just got to pretend like everything that everybody did wrong doesn't exist is weak. It's weak and it ain't book. Book said, Paul said, oh, no, I'm going to remember. You ain't got to worry, but let me tell you something. I'm going to remember his deeds. What else?
Which he does, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith, neither does he himself receive the brethren,
Uh-huh.
and forbids them that would, and chases and casts them out of the congregation.
Uh-huh.
Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good.
He said, don't follow that stuff that's evil. Instead, follow that which is good.
He that does good is of God,
He that does good is of God.
but he that does evil has not seen God.
But if you did evil, you don't even know who God is. You ain't never seen God. These are just basic facts. He that what? He that does good is of who?
Is of God.
And then he that does evil hasn't seen who?
Hasn't seen God.
Sometimes you just gotta read the book and then just take it for what it says.
That's what it says.
Sometimes, I mean, that thing can just line it up for you real nice. Sometimes you get real confused and be like, man, am I saved? Am I not saved? You know what? I got a verse for you. Read it for me one more time, T.
Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good.
Uh-huh.
He that does good is of God,
Uh-huh.
but he that does evil has not seen God.
What else we got?
Demetrius has good report of all men,
Uh-huh.
and of the truth itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, and we also bear record, and you know that our record is true.
Mm-hmm.
I had many things to write, but I will not with ink and pen write unto you. But I trust I shall shortly see you, and we shall speak face to face.
Mm-hmm.
Peace be with you. Our friends salute you. Greet the friends by name.
All right. Peace be with him. All right, where we leave off last week, let's get right to it. You know what I'm saying? Try to make this quick. You know what I'm saying? Try to wrap this up. Give me a little sleep. Where we leave off? What we were talking about last week, TJ? I'm not going to tell you. What we got? You can have Daniel for help, though. He don't remember either. He thinking. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go back, look at no notes either, you know what I'm saying? Probably pull up the last video real quick. Nah. Book say, what the book say? What the book say? I can't remember where it is.
Keep this in remembrance.
Yeah, what is that? Where is that?
Frontlets between your
Were we
eyes.
learning about
That's
how Yahshua
Moses.
died?
Yeah, that's Moses, but where Paul
Were
said
we
it?
learning about how Yahshua died? No,
That was you,
that was-
scrub. Keep this in remembrance.
Give me Galatians chapter 5. Is that what I want?
Keep this in. Peter said that.
Galatians chapter 5. Paul said it too, though. It's not Galatians 5, though. Give me Galatians 5, verse 1. It's not. That's not what I'm looking for, though, but whatever. While we getting this, I hope y'all trying to remember where we came from. It's not it. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 15. That's what I want. I had to cheat real quick. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1. After we get 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1, hopefully we'll remember what we were talking about last week, then we can get to it. Baby, what we working on
right now, boy. That's what you about to be doing as soon as you get old enough to do it. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also you have received and where you stand.
He said, moreover, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you. So in other words, I said this to you before, right? Because he's saying, moreover, what I'm doing right now is declaring to you the gospel that I preached unto you. You put it, TJ, if you put an ED at the end of a word, what that mean usually? The language is hypocritical, so I ain't gonna say all the time, but usually you put an ED at the end of a word, what that mean? That means it's about to happen, it's happening right now, or it already happened. That's right, it already happened, right? So he said, listen, the thing that I declare unto you, that is happening, right? Is what I preached unto you, that already happened. So I'm doing it again, right? Watch what he say next.
By which also you are saved if you keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless
He
you
said-
have believed in vain.
He said, the word that I'm saying unto you, which I already said to you, is what you'll be saved by if you do what?
Keep in memory what I preached unto you.
That's why it's important that we remember this stuff. That's why it's important that we go over again and again and again. We might look at it and be like, oh, this again. He's saying that again. We going over this again. Guess what? Books say that's safe for us. We got to retain it. Right? We can't be in here playing patty cake. We can't be in here joking and playing around if we not getting the book. Whole point of it for this stuff to get in us and be a part of us. That thing got to grow into your heart. Right? We got to be able to keep it in memory. We supposed to be able to spit it out. I don't care if you can quote it word for word. That don't mean nothing to me. Do you know the essence of it? Do you know what it's talking about? People out here that quote the scripture word for word and get that thing wrong when they try to explain what it means. That's good. Quote it word for word, but know what it means. Know how to operate in your life. Do what it say. Most of all, do what it say. Right? That's what we looking for. Let's talk tonight. Let's do it. So what we learned last week? Somebody online, I know y'all watching too. Somebody tell me, type something in the chat room. What we got? We got the whole thing on the board. Let's see. We talked about Saul a long time ago. Then we talked about David, then Solomon. Then Solomon had a son named Rehoboam. At the same time, Jeroboam came and he took the kingdom from Solomon. Right? Or from Rehoboam, really. You know what I'm saying? Then Jeroboam had Nadab. Then Rehoboam had Abijam. Right? Then Asa, then Jehoshaphat, then Jehoram. Then on the other side, you got Baasha. You remember Baasha had Elah, but Elah got knocked off by Zimri. Zimri got knocked out by Timnah. Right? Then Omri came after Omri killed Timnah. Then Omri had Ahab. Right? Then after that, Ahab had Ahaziah. Then Ahaziah had Joram. Then after that, Jehu came, he killed the whole family, didn't he? Then Jehu came, he became king. Then when we leave off over here, you know what I'm saying? We had Jehoshaphat, then Joram, then the Ahaziah came over here. Remember, the family started naming each other. They started naming, you know what I'm saying? They started sharing names. Because after Ahaziah, you get Athaliah. Remember, Athaliah was his mama, right? She kind of pulled it off, started killing all his brothers. They saved one of them. His name was Joash. You remember that? So Joash was sitting there. He was just a baby. They took him away until he got older. His mama was the king at that point because she killed all of them. So she was running the whole show at that point. All right, mama get out the way. Joash become king. Right? He was just a baby at the time. They raised him up. He became king. He became king. Then you had Amaziah. Then Amaziah had Uzziah. Then Uzziah had Jotham, and then Jotham had Ahaz. Right? Then after Ahaz, then we get who? Hezekiah. You remember Hezekiah? Hezekiah, we just talked about him.
Yeah, that's right.
What happened with Hezekiah?
Hezekiah, he restored everything. And then I think, who came and spoke to him? One of the prophets spoke to him.
One of the prophets spoke to him. Which one? We got all the prophets up there. We got Jonah that came first. Amos that came first. Then Hosea. Then Micah. Then Isaiah. So Isaiah popped on the scene. He came into it. What did he say to him, Daniel?
So he was going to
He said, go ahead, set your house in order, didn't he? He said, set your house in order. 15 years, you out of here. You're done.
No. He said, you're about to die. He didn't give him that time.
You right. I appreciate the man. That's right. He told him, you're done. He said, you're not going to heal from the sickness. It's going to kill you. Remember, he was sick. He said, oh, no, it's going to kill you. What did Hezekiah do right away? He just turned, went to the wall, started praying. I ain't got no time, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the boy that me and Austin used to be, you know what I'm saying, in class with. You know what I'm saying? We about to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? That thing was bad, too, because we always used to get in trouble, especially him. You know what I'm saying? So we about to get in trouble in class. Our teacher, we thought he was about to say, because he told her, next time I have to talk to y'all, but y'all but getting sent to the office, y'all going to get suspended. He told us that. And he had to talk to us again, and we knew we was in darn trouble. We were sitting there. So we looking at him like, please, you know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't into all that begging and stuff, but he was. He was like, look, man, look, please, you know, just give me a break. And like, you know how you like in the middle of explaining something, you got like 5 more sentences you want to get out. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Bombstar, he just looked at him and cut him off. He was like, you just go over there and don't say anything. So he cut him off, and he got in mid-sentence, he was like, please. You know what I'm saying? And went up against the wall, and he didn't say nothing else. You know what I'm saying? He just shut up, went up against the wall. Well, that's how Hezekiah was. Most High God told him, oh, no, you done. Through the prophet Isaiah, he said, no, you done. He knew it. He looked at it. He was like, oh, no, he ain't got no time for that. Went to the wall and just started praying. Right? He prayed with confidence, but in tears also. Right? Because he's looking at it like, man, this don't feel fair. I did everything you want. That's what he told me. I did everything. I walked according to what you asked. Why is it now is your prophet telling me I got to die? Most High God came back to him. He said, you know what? I had 15 years to it. Right? I had 15 years to it. You'll be all right. How I know? He did the sundial. He made it go back. Right? That proved it out for him. Then Hezekiah died. Right? His 15 years was up. Who came next? It's on the board. Right? Open book. Right? It's open book. Right? Manasseh came after that. And what did we learn about Manasseh? Right? Manasseh did that which was evil according to the Lord. Right? But what was interesting about that? He did that which was evil. We learned that the Most High God made a promises to all of David's sons. He said that he would not take away his mercy, didn't he? Right? So then Manasseh did evil, and then what happened to him as a result?
He got sent to jail.
He got sent. He got sent over to what land? Assyria took him, but they took him where? To Babylon, right? So Assyria came and got it, but they actually kept him in jail in Babylon. Right? In Babylon, what did he do? He repented. Right? This stuff is important for us. This is an example. A lot of this other stuff we look at, a lot of good stuff we already read. But this is an example of us.
Imagine he was in prison like, man, my daddy was right.
This is an example of us. We live however we want to live, do whatever we want to do, but the Most High God give us a chance to come back. He give us a chance to come back. He repented. Most High God brought him right back to the kingdom. After that, he tried to clean some of this stuff up. Right? But then he had a son. And that's what we're about to read about. This is, what we want to read? This is, give me, give me 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, give me 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse, what verse we leave off last week? 33, right? I mean, what chapter?
33, 16.
So give me, what's the end of that? What's the end of 33?
25.
25? So let's start at 16 then. Let's just see what they got to say. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 33, 2 Chronicles chapter 33, verse 16. Let's see what the book has to say. It's important. We got to keep this in memory. We got to retain this stuff. We don't retain it, man. That stuff is just, we ain't got to get it. What James tell us, though? You got to be a what?
Hearer and a doer.
Mm-hmm. But he said, don't be a certain thing. Don't be what type of hearer?
A hearer and not a doer.
But don't be
Forgetful.
what type of? He said, don't be a forgetful hearer. Right? He said, that don't make no sense. You just gonna be a forgetful hearer. If you don't do it, you just gonna be a forgetful hearer. Right? That means that lets us know we gotta retain. This is what our whole salvation is based off of us retaining it. That's why we repeat it. That's why we go over it again. That's why we ask questions. That's why we look at stuff. It's important for us. We get it, right? But we gotta retain it anxiously. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be shaking to get it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be shaking to retain this stuff. It's our life on the line. You understand, TJ? It's our life on the line. All right, come on. We play around, we joke a lot, but this is it. It ain't nothing else for us.
And he repaired the altar of the Lord and sacrificed thereon peace offerings and thank offerings and commanded Judah to serve Yahuwah, God of Israel. Nevertheless, the people did sacrifice still in the high places, yet unto the Lord their God only.
All right, book said nevertheless, these people still did whatever they wanted to. They still did whatever they wanted to. That's all right, keep going. You can't control the people, right? Especially when you had a hand in making them go the way that they going. Right? I used to throw parties, do all this other stuff. Some of those same people, they had never accepted a word from me. They ain't trying to hear that. Well, I know how you, little people I used to mess with, well, I know what you, don't please. You? No, man, I've been on this way. Hold on. How long we been this way? 6 years, 7 years? About 6, 7 years we've been this way. About 5, 6 years, probably about 5, 6 years we've been this way. Right? Consistent too. That don't change nothing. You? Oh, please. You still city boy, Fillmore Slim. No matter, you know what I'm saying? No matter what you think you, Right? That's all right. We get it. I understand. You can't change what the people do. But you got to regret that. You got to look at it and be like, man, I messed up some darn law. I messed up some darn opportunities. We got to take that. Got to eat that and let it drive us. Right? Because then it can drive and be like, you know what? Not again. No more. Clean it up. Make another mistake. Make another. Okay, no more. Clean it up. Because once we clean it up, eventually, somebody will look back and maybe they have an opportunity. Maybe we don't get to see it. Maybe we dead and gone. But maybe somebody be able to read the story about us being taken and then repenting and the Most High God bringing us back. And there, the people didn't listen to us after that. But still. All right, keep going. Let's see.
Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh and his prayer unto his God, and the words of the seers that spake to him in the name of Yahuwah, God of Israel, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel.
Okay.
His prayer also, and how God was entreated of him, in all his sin, and his trespass, in the places where he built high places, and set up groves and graven images before he was humbled. Behold, they are written among the sayings of the seers. So Manasseh slept with his fathers, and they buried him in his own house. And Ammon his son reigned in his stead.
All right, so now we got Ammon, right? Ammon, his son. A-M-O-N?
Yep.
All right? So Ammon, his son, reigned in his stead. Right? We getting towards the end of this thing now, y'all. Let's hear about Ammon then. What that take us to? Chapter 34?
Yeah.
It's chapter 34, verse 1.
Well, you want to finish out 33?
No, we can just go ahead. I ain't missing nothing crazy, you know.
Yeah.
I am?
Well, 34 talks right into Josiah. I don't really say much about him.
Okay, no, keep going 33 then. I thought 34 started talking about Ammon. We good. Keep going 33.
Ammon was 22 years old when he began to reign. And reigned 2 years in Jerusalem. But he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahuwah, as did Manasseh his father. For Ammon...
you know why Ammon life is so short? So you remember we talked about Joash? Right? Remember Joash, all his brothers got killed. Athaliah, his daddy mama, so that's his grandma, right? She killed all of Joash's brothers, right? So then Joash had to be hidden. I think his sister hit him. I want to say his sister hit him with the priest, right? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? He had to be hidden until he grew old enough to make decisions, right? Keep that story in mind. Cause watch how this repeats, right? So this is why we're gonna see why Ammon life is so short. This is Ammon. This is chapter 33, verse what?
22.
Verse 22. Watch this.
But he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, as did Manasseh his
That'd be
father.
funny if I'm dead wrong.
For Amon sacrificed unto all the carved images which Manasseh his father had made and served them, and humbled not himself before the Lord as Manasseh his father humbled himself. But Amon trespassed more and more, and his servants conspired against him and slew him in his own house.
That's right.
But
right? So his servants conspired against him, and they slew him in his own house. Watch this. Now I'm a little more confident.
For the people of the land slew all them that had conspired against King Ammon, and the people of the land made Josiah his son king in his stead.
So they made his son king. Now watch this.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
We in 34 now?
Yeah.
All right. So now this is where Josiah comes. Let's go ahead and put Josiah on the board.
Wow.
It's 34, verse 1. 2 Chronicles 34, verse 1.
Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign.
He was 8 years old when he's just a boy, just a kid. Right? He ain't a baby like Joab was, but he's just a kid. Right? 8 years old when he began to be king. Because his daddy got killed so quick. Watch this.
He did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the ways of David his father,
Wow.
and declined neither to the right or to the left.
Mm-hmm.
For in the 8th year of his reign, while he was yet young, he began to seek after the God of David his father.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 12th year, he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem from the high places.
So now he's an adult. Right? 12th year, he's an adult. Right? He look at it, he started to purge. Right? Let's do it. Let's clean this mess up. Right? Remember, man, Manasseh was still a mess. Ammon came along, he didn't help nothing. Manasseh tried to clean it up, Ammon tried to back it up. Ammon was only there for 2 years. Alright? He 8 years old when he take, you know what I'm saying? 8 years passed from that, the man started to follow after the Most High God. Then 12 years from the time he was 8, then the man was looking like, okay, you know what? Let's clean all this mess up. This been here too long. It's time to clean it up. Alright, let's hear about it. I love that thing, man. It's a good thing. The book try to show you all our personalities.
Yeah, dude.
All we gotta do is choose one, right? Who we gonna learn from today? Who we gonna learn from? Hezekiah, Jotham. Remember Uzziah? He was doing all right. Remember Uzziah? He was doing all right for a minute. Uzziah is like, man, look, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about this. We gonna do this. We gonna clean this up. We gonna set this up. He built up the city. Uzziah was doing everything right. But the man got a little bit too full of himself. He went in and tried to make a sacrifice. Remember, the priest said, oh, no, that's not going to happen. They came mobbed up on him like, yo, what's going on? Get his butt out of here. Most High God struck him with leprosy right in the middle of the thing. They thrust his butt out of there. Then he had to be locked up the whole time according to our law because he's a leprous. You know what I'm saying? And by default, his son became the governor, Jotham. And after a while, after Uzziah died, his son became king. Right? So we look at these things, we can learn from all these different personalities. Some of them do right, but they make a mistake. All right?
It's just nice.
Let's clean it up. That's all. Let's keep going. What we got?
In the 12th year, he began to seek after the God of David his father. And in the 12th year, he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem from the high places and the groves and carved images and the molten images.
Mm-hmm.
And they break down the altars of Baalim in his presence.
Uh-huh.
And the images that were on high above them he cut down.
Mm-hmm.
And the groves and the carved images and the molten images he brake in pieces, and made dust of them, and strode it upon the graves of them that had sacrificed unto them.
What verse is that?
4.
4, and he dug them all up. And crushed them all, and he did what now? Read that again. Read 4 again.
And they break down the altars of Baalim in his presence, and
Right.
the images that were high above them he cut down to the groves and carved images and the molten images he brake in pieces, and made dust of them, and strode it upon the graves of them that had sacrificed unto them.
All right. So he took it. He made them break them up right in front of him. Right. So he's making a public spectacle of these things. This is what you have to do. Right? When you're a king, all right? When you have king, you can't just sit back and let other people do it. You got to go and make a public spectacle of these things. No, right in front of me, break all this stuff up.
Ground it to powder.
Then after that, I'm going to take it, and the people who died, who used to worship this stuff, put it on their darn graves. Let it die with them. Now it means something for people. They look at it, they like, ooh, King is serious. Because he's the leader. That's what you got to do. Right? Oh, we got grab 2 Kings. I'm gonna try to bounce around between the accounts of what's going on. That's 2 Kings chapter 22. We can start at verse 1. 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 1. It's 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 1. What?
Judah was 8 years old when he began to reign,
Uh-huh.
and he reigned 30. Josiah.
Uh-huh.
Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adiah of Boscath. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of David his father, and turned not aside to the right or the left.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass in the 18th year of King Josiah that the king of Shaphan, the son of Azaliah, the son of Meshullam, the scribe, to the house of the Lord, saying, Go up to Hilkiah the high priest, that he may sum the silver which is brought into the house of the Lord, which the keepers of the door have gathered of the people, and let them deliver it unto the hand of the doers of the work,
Watch this.
that have the oversight of the house of the Lord, and let them give it to the doers of the work which is in the house of the Lord, to repair the breaches of the house.
Right? So he's saying, go get the money, right? And then divide the money to the people who's fixing, the doers of the work, the construction workers who's fixing the house. Watch this. Excuse me.
Hello?
Please pardon us for this brief interruption.
Revere.
A word from our sponsors.
Carry and revere.
Let Tasha take it, man. Tasha will tell you where we at. Yeah. Give her direction on how to get here.
Don't break my phone.
All right, what we got?
I forgot where I was. Oh, sorry. Howbeit there was no reckoning made
Uh-huh.
unto carpenters and the builders and masons to buy timber and hewn stone to repair the house.
Mm-hmm.
Howbeit there was no reckoning made with them of the money that was delivered into their hand, because they dealt faithfully. And Hilkiah the high priest said unto Shaphan the scribe,
Mm-hmm.
I have found the book of the law in the house of Yahuwah.
So listen, they are working inside of in the Most High God house, right? They're putting it back together. They're like, oh man, some of the, remember we've been through a few wars. People came in, tried to take our stuff. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. So now at this point, we trying to break, fix some stuff up. It's old wear and tear. We trying to fix it up. While working, he said, hey, I found the book of the law. The book of the law, I found it. Watch this. What does this tell you about if this is a thing, right? I found the book of the law. What does that tell you?
They ain't been reading.
They ain't been reading the law.
Who wrote the book of the law, boy? Who wrote the book of the law? The law. Who taught the law? Nope.
That's right. Moses taught it, right? So if they didn't have a law, they didn't have the law of Moses. Now you look at it, and that's why the people been going. Remember, this hasn't been just 7 years or something like that. It's been 10 years, 20 years, 10 years, 8 years. All these different years added on top and on top and on top and on top. And we get down there, it's hundreds of years later. And these people ain't been reading this law. Remind us of something, don't it? It's thousands of years our people ain't looked at no law. We've been going to these churches, they teach it, done away with. Guess what everybody do? Whatever they want to. And they justify it. These people do whatever they want to and tell you they got God in them now.
Yeah, at least back then they used a different God. Man.
Yeah, at least back then they'd keep an eye and be like, oh no, I'm serving this other one. You know what I'm talking about? Or I'm serving both. Now they tell only God while I'm reading my chakras.
It's crazy.
Right? I only serve God. I only serve God while I got my wind catcher in my window. Praise him though. Right? People make a darn fool out of you.
Twisting scripture up.
They twisted. Boy, let me tell you something. I got that thing, the thing. Bop it. Twist it. boy, when that thing comes to the Bible, all that thing say is twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it. Them boy be lighting that darn twisted up. Goodness darn gracious. Bop that thing a few times. You know what I'm talking about? Goodness gracious. That thing is ridiculous. Let's hear what the book got to say.
And Hilkiah the high priest said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law.
He said, I found the book of the law in the house of the Lord.
And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan and he read it.
Uh-huh.
And Shaphan
Watch
the
what
scribe.
I love this thing. Praise the Most High God. Watch what Shaphan do. He read it and watch what happens.
And Shaphan the scribe came to the king and brought the king word again
Mm-hmm.
and said, Thy servants have gathered the money that was found in the house and have delivered into the hand of them that do the work, that have the oversight of the house of the Lord.
Yep.
And Shaphan the scribe showed the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest has delivered me a book.
Uh-huh.
And Shaphan read it before the king.
And Shaphan brought it and he read it before the king. Watch this.
Yeah, I found this cool book.
Watch this.
And it came to
Shaphan
pass-
knew what he was doing. He looked at it. He read that. He read it himself first. Shaphan looked at it. He's like, this is interesting. Read it. And the Most High God put it on his heart and say, but the king might need to read about this. Watch. Oh, this is beautiful to me, man. Watch this.
And Shaphan read it before the king. And
Uh-huh.
it came to pass when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, he ripped his clothes.
King knew exactly what he read. He read it to him. King said, of course. King ripped his clothes like, oh my goodness, what have we been doing? Watch this. Watch the book say. It's just from somebody hearing the word. Y'all understand that? Like, this is just hearing the word. He didn't read it himself. Somebody read the word to him, and just based off of hearing it, the man tore his clothes off. Like, man, this is exactly where we are. And we know why now. Watch this.
And the king commanded Hilkiah the priest and Ahikam the son of Shaphan and Akbor the son of Micaiah and Shaphan the scribe and Asahiah a servant of the king, saying, Go ye, inquire of the Lord for me and for the people and for all Judah concerning the words of this book that is found.
Uh-huh.
For great is the wrath of the Lord that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book.
He read the word, and he said, this is what's happening. He said, go pray, entreat the Most High God for me, because the wrath is currently on us, because that our father didn't listen to this book. He read it, he's like, everything that's happening to us now is exactly what he said would happen. The man read it and knew. Watch it, keep going.
To do according to all that which is written concerning us.
He said, keep going.
So Hilkiah the priest and Ahikam and Akbor and Shaphan and Asahiah went unto Huldah the prophetess.
So they went on to Hilda the prophetess.
The wife of Shallum.
Right? Woman of the Most High God. Watch this.
The wife of Shallum, the son of Tikva, the son of Hurus, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the Kalaj. And they communed with her. And she said unto them, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, Tell the man that sent you to me, Thus says the Lord, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the words of the book which the king of Judah has read.
Right? This is what the prophet is telling us. Okay.
Because they have forsaken me, and have burnt incense unto other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be kindled against this place, and shall not be quenched. But to the king of Judah, which sent you to inquire of the Lord, thus shall you say unto him, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, as touching the words which you have heard,
as touching the words which you have heard,
because your heart was tender, and you had humbled yourself before Yahuwah.
Because your heart was what?
Tender. And you have humbled yourself before the Lord, when you heard what I spake against this place and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and has ripped your clothes, and cried before me, I also have heard you, says the Lord.
Give me John chapter 2. Let's go back. Give me John chapter 2. He said, I have also heard you, because what? Your heart was darn tender, and you humbled yourself. Not because a prophet came to him. You understand the difference? Like, you see, there is other people like the prophet came to him. You see the Most High God response to him is different because he just heard the word and humbled his heart. Y'all remember it's a man named Thomas, right? Yahushua made his appearance to a few of the brethren, right? And it's a man named Thomas that was like, man, I'll believe it when I see it. When I can put my hands in the holes of his hand, right? Huh?
Right here.
And through a good job, through a darn hip, right? Through his side, right? He said, when I can put my hands in his wounds, then I'll believe it. What happened after that? Then Yahushua, he just popped it right up in there, didn't he? That's right, that's good. He just popped right on up in there, like, all right. Did the door open? No, that man just popped right on up in there, like, all right. You know what I'm talking about? What Thomas say after that? You remember what Thomas say? You ain't in trouble if you don't know this one. But extra points if you do. What Thomas say after that? What do you think he was? Huh? He thought he was his clothes. He thought he was a ghost. He said, it's a spirit in front of me. It's a ghost. Right? Y'all was like, man, I ain't gonna go, man. Come on, go ahead and touch it. All right, this year, you run your mouth, go ahead and touch it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. You can touch it. Go ahead and touch it. You know what I'm talking about? He grabbed it, put his finger through the hole and all that. And the man said, my Lord and my God. I think that's what he said. My Lord and my God. I think he said, what you got saying what?
I was gonna say he has all the holes and stuff because he got beat up. Right?
They didn't bring him up. Yeah, they nailed him to the cross. So they had to put holes in his hand. Then they stabbed him in the side and make him bleed out. You know what I'm saying? According to the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? So he looked at he said, my Lord and my God. Yahushua looked at him and told him, blessed are you because you see. You know what I'm saying? But blessed are those who believe and they don't see. It's different. It's a different level of faith. I mean, you got the miracle that's done in front of you. That's tight. That's good. It's a blessing. But bless those who don't see the miracle, who just read about it. And you know what they do? They humble their heart in front of the man. The ones that just hear the law, you know what he tender, because he start ripping his clothes off like, man, this is why we here. What I'm reading, I'm looking at all around me. It's no different from today. We read Deuteronomy chapter 20 at law. That's what he read. That's what the man read. He read them the law. He looked at them cursing. He said, oh, man, that don't make no weed. This is what's happening.
That's a different type of heavy. Like, whoa.
This is why we here.
Sit you down on your butt.
It's John chapter 2. One day we'll get it, man. One day we'll get this stuff. It's John chapter 2. Give me verse 12.
After this, he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother and his brothers and his disciples, and they continued there not many days. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the chargers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the chargers of money, changers money, and overdrew the tables. And he said unto them that sold doves, take these things from here, make not my father's house a house of merchandise. And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of my house has eaten me up. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, what sign do you show us, seeing that you do these things?
Watch this.
And Yahushua answered and said unto him, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and will you rear it up in 3 days? But he spake of the temple of his body.
He spake of what?
The temple of his body.
Watch this. This is Matthew chapter 26. What verse was that? Temple of his body.
21.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me one more. Watch this. He spake of the temple of his body. Watch this.
When therefore he was risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this unto them.
And give me 26. Matthew chapter 26. Matthew chapter 26. Give me verse 59. Do a little bit of talking real quick.
Now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahushua to put him to death, but found none. Yes, through many false witnesses they came and found none. And at last came 2 false witnesses and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days.
Mm-hmm. The man said it though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the high priest arose and said unto him, answerest thou nothing? What is
You're
this?
not gonna say nothing for yourself? Watch this.
What is this which these witness against you?
Uh-huh.
And Yahshua held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure you by the living God, that you tell us whether you be the Messiah, the Son of God.
High priest said you gotta do it. Watch what Yahshua do.
Yahshua said unto him, you have said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall you see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven.
Watch what the high priest do.
And the high priest ripped his clothes, saying, he has spoken blasphemy. What further need of witnesses do we need?
You see the difference?
Behold,
He just heard the word too.
now we have heard his blasphemy.
Josiah heard the word, ripped his clothes. He heard the word too, ripped his clothes. You see the difference though?
He didn't humble himself.
One of them was humble to the word. The other one did this. Keep going.
What think ye? And they answered and said, he is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hands, saying, prophesy unto us, thou Messiah.
Smacked him across his face.
Who is
Then
he that smote you?
they smacked him across his face and asked him, go ahead and prophesy. Tell us which one of us hit you. You see the difference though? They both ripped their clothes. Stuff can look the same. Right? We can look at this stuff. Stuff can look the same, man. We gotta be deeper than this surface stuff, man. These people get up and preach to you for 2 whole hours and not tell you nothing. They haven't taught you anything. What they try to do is look the same though. They try to read from the same book. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter, we were at 15 before. Give me 1 Corinthians 13 though. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 7. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 7. Give me verse 1. We'll read to 7. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 1.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains and have no charity, I have nothing. Although I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profits me nothing.
This sound familiar, baby? Where we heard this? We had just at the Catholic church. You know what I'm saying? Her cousin was getting married. You know what I'm saying? So they read from this. The whole time I'm looking at it like, I don't know what y'all are.
You have one of the dudes with the tall pointy hats.
He had
He
had everything else.
didn't understand it.
I mean, you had idols on top of idols. You had a big old, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of Jesus it was. I ain't never seen a Jesus in this one. But yeah, I ain't never seen no Jesus like, you know, this thing. Different type of Jesus hanging up there on the thing. But that thing was different.
Like on Dodgeball, when he's like, that's me taking the bull by the horns.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that. You know what I'm saying? Big old Jesus right on top. Then you had you know what I'm saying? You had another little Jesus. Then they pulled out this thing, wrapped it around the bride, had a darn Joseph and, you know, supposedly Joseph, supposedly Mary, and some darn little girl that was supposed to be Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, goodness gracious, what's wrong with these people? It's like they obsessed with like making them feminine looking and all that. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all?
Weird? Like all them Greek statues and all that weird
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't know what's wrong with these people when they darn idols.
Even in his pictures, he be out there like.
But the whole time, you know what they tell them?
What?
Oh, no, that's Jesus of the Bible. Because they want to make it look the same. But we can get to the bottom of it. You talking about you have love and you have charity. But keep reading. Watch this.
Charity suffers long and is kind.
Charity suffers long and kind. That's fact.
Charity envies not.
It don't envy. Right? It don't envy. Watch it.
Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up.
I puffed up. It don't vaunt itself. You know what I'm saying? It don't puff itself up. Right? Watch it.
Does not believe itself unseemly, seeks not her own.
It don't believe itself unseemly. Behave itself unseemly. And it don't seek her own. Right? Watch this.
Is not easily provoked.
It's not easily provoked.
Thinks no evil.
It don't think about no evil. Watch this.
Rejoices not in iniquity.
It don't rejoice in iniquity. You know what they're doing the whole time?
Yes, man.
Smiles on their darn faces. Idols just sitting there. They walk in, dip their little hands in the holy water, do all this extra stuff. Guess what? All that's iniquity. All these idols, everything, all these little things, y'all, all of it's iniquity. But y'all happy. Right? Because the people don't know. You put them into these situations, you teach them all this stuff, you teach them all these lies. Who gonna tell the people the truth?
Everybody's trying to play everybody's emotions. Trying to make them feel good.
That's it. Traditions and emotions. That's gonna kill us. Alright? That's alright. Let's grab 1 John chapter 3, verse 14.
We should probably start at 16.
It's 1 John chapter 3, verse 16.
I'm not taking you. You already started making fun of
You know me, I can't help it.
people. You couldn't wait till Friday.
Look, I was in there, I was creeped out that day too. Oh my goodness gracious. I couldn't even focus. Oh my goodness gracious. Like one of them things just gonna pop out and get me or something.
Yeah,
My
buddy.
goodness. Ugh.
That thing made you want to run up out of there.
Yeah, buddy. I got out there quick as I can. I was like, yeah. I was telling my son the whole time, I was like, look at that. You see that? That's an idol, boy. You look at that? It's ridiculous. People make a darn fool of themselves. They don't know no better. Some of them. All right. That's all right.
What?
Give me verse 16. She said 16. You said 16, right?
We can start at 14.
All right, it's 14 then. She ain't gonna make up her mind. It's 14 then.
We know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren.
That's right.
He that loves not his brother abides in death.
Yeah, you gotta love your brother, right? Otherwise, you remain in death, right? Keep going. Watch it.
Whosoever hates his brother is a murderer.
If you hate your brother, you a murderer. That's a given, right? Watch this.
And you know that no murderer has eternal life abiding in him.
That's great. You ain't got no eternal life if you a murderer. Watch this.
Hereby perceive we the love of God because he laid down his life for us.
He laid down his life for us.
And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
We have to lay down our life for the brother.
For whoso has this word's good and sees his brother has need and shuts up his bowels of compassion from him, now how dwells the love of God in him? My little children, let us not live in word nor in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
We gotta live and in what?
Not in word or in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
And in truth. Right? We can't just hear the word. We got to be able to live that thing out. So that's why Josiah, after he heard the word, he went to the prophetess. The prophetess came back and gave him and said, oh, yeah, you was tender to it. So these things ain't going to happen. But now, after he's heard all these words, he has to go and do it and live it out in deed and in truth. So that means that you have to actually do something, and then what you do has to line up with the truth. Right? All right. Keep going. What else we got?
For if our heart condemn us, God is greater than our heart and knows all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence toward God. And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight.
And that should be our goal. Right? If that's not the goal, I don't know why we're here. Our goal should be to be confident because towards the Most High God for the reason that we keep his commandments and do what's pleasing in his sight. That's why Hezekiah can be like, let me holler at this wall real quick. Most High God, I don't really understand. Now Isaiah, I know that's your man. But at the same time, God, man, I've been out here doing what you told me to do, so I'm just trying to help me figure this thing out. Right? He trying to look at it like, man, I don't get it. He had confidence toward the Most High God. Isaiah, hold right there. I'll be right there. Let me go holler at him right there. You hold right there. You remember, because Isaiah was the one that was like, all right, listen, here go the figs. That means Isaiah was waiting by. Right? Most High God knew how this thing was going to play out. So Isaiah was just waiting there. Like, I can just imagine Most High God like, don't your butt go nowhere. right? He just waiting there as a guy like, I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? He had to come back. He told Isaiah, all right, give him some figs. And you just told me to tell him that he gonna die. Well, I said give him some darn figs. That's how I like to imagine. You know, give him some darn figs. Here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll hook you up. Right? Yeah, man, he probably don't know what's darn going on. Most I God do. You know what I'm saying? That boy lining that whole thing up. He know exactly how that thing gonna play out. Right? Watch this. Where we leave off? We in 2 Kings chapter
19.
We left off 19?
22, 19.
All right, come on, let's go back. It's 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. Matter of fact, before we grab that, give me Exodus. My fault. Give me Exodus chapter 15. Watch this. Give me Exodus chapter 15.
City of palm trees.
So, you know, every time, you know what I'm saying, you got Tasha been out, you know what I'm saying, you're calling books, you know what I'm saying, trying to teach some books. So, you know, we always got to drive this point home. Got to make sure Tasha understand where she's at.
15 minutes.
I like it. Give me verse 18.
The Lord shall reign forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
For the horse of Pharaoh went in his chariots and went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them, but the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea.
Uh-huh.
And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances.
All of who?
Women.
She was a what?
Prophetess.
Right? We can have a prophetess. You'll never hear the book talk about a woman preacher. You'll never see the book talk about leading a man, a woman leading a man. Right? We had an example of it. We had an example of it. After life, we talked about her. Was she pleasing to God? No, abomination to the Most High God.
You got a woman judge, you got a woman prophetess.
You got a woman judge. Grab judges. We had a woman judge. She's a prophetess too, right? We had a woman judge. Watch this. What is it? Judges 4? It's Judges 4. Judges chapter 4, give me verse 1. Right? If a woman here, right, and she has a vision, right? She sees a vision from the Most High God. She has a dream and hears word from the Most High God. She can speak it. A woman can also read the word of the Most High God. She can speak it, right? She can speak the word of God. That book ain't nothing to do. Right? Some people like, well, what's the difference? She teaching it. You define it however you want to. She can do that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to call that teaching, she can teach in that fashion. Right? She can do what the prophetess do. The book don't call it teaching. The book call it prophesying. Right? The book call it reading the word. She can do that. Right? The word of God can be spoken by a woman. That book. Can't do nothing about that. I got it. Right? Just don't try to tell nobody what it means. That's it. You can tell a woman. Don't try to tell a man what it means. The book wouldn't have it that way. Right? This is Judges. Right? We'll prove that out right here. It's Judges chapter 4, verse 1.
And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead. But the Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Hazareth of the Gentiles. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron. In 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lepidoth, she judged Israel at that time.
So she was a judge and she was a prophetess. So a woman can also do what?
Judge.
She can also judge. That means she can make a decision. You can come to her and be like, how should I handle this? Right? There's a lot of men, they get out of there. There's a lot of men, especially as Hebrews, we get into the book. No, the man is the head. Man make all the decisions, man. Man. Right? So they feel like the woman can't make a decision. Well, that don't make sense when the woman here is a judge over the people. She can make a decision. You can come to the woman and be like, what's the best way to go with this? She can tell you that's the best way to go. You can come to the woman and say, what's right or wrong? Right? What do you see as right and wrong? That's the right way to go. I think those things are fine. You got to take responsibility for that choice. Right? You got to take responsibility for that choice. Right? But that book, she could do it. When Sarai, we ain't got to get it. When Sarai said to Abraham, get this bondwoman out of my darn house. What did God say? I mean, hold on. First of all, before we get into that, did Abraham want to get the bondwoman and her child out of the house?
No.
Why?
His son.
His what son?
First son.
And how long he been waiting for a son? And he thought he couldn't have one? And finally he got one? And then, like, as soon as he got one, his woman told him, now you gotta go? Oh, he didn't want to get rid of that boy. He might have got rid of the bond woman. He like, nah, boy, though. Right? But for the Most High, before he could even make his argument, Most High God said, listen to your wife. Right? Because she can be a judge. Don't make a darn mistake. You can go to your darn wife. You can go to your darn woman. And she can make a decision. And she can be right in that thing. And if she right and you don't go with it, that's on you. Because you got to own it now. You ain't got no excuse that, I didn't have the correct information. Your wife had the correct information. She was being the judge in that situation, and your butt didn't darn listen. You going to be judged because of that. Right? So you can definitely take advice from your wife, and you should. You can definitely go to your wife and ask her what she thinks about the situation and what she believes is right. And when she give you the right answer, you should take it. But you got to be responsible for them choices as a man. Right? Woman got to be there, and she can be a judge. She can read the word, and she can hear a dream or a vision from the Most High God, and she can speak it. She just can't, in any of those situations, tell you what the word is talking about. She can teach, she can teach some darn ABCs, trigonometry. I don't care what it is. She can teach you how to, build a business. I don't care what she can teach. She can teach. Just don't teach no darn word. That don't make no darn sense. Books they don't do that. Right? We ain't got to keep reading, but right here, her being the judge, people came to her, they're like, what should we do? She said, okay, well, go to war. Man was like, well, I'll go, but you got to come with me. And she told him, she was like, cause she's a prophetess too. She was like, all right, Most High God said, if I go with you, now it's going to be taken from you, and the glory of this victory is going to be given to a woman, not her, right? But to a different woman. The different woman just dropped, she didn't drop a stone. She took a nail, slammed in the king's head and killed him, right? So she got the victory, right? Grab Isaiah chapter 3. I'm gonna show you how this is prophecy too. Alright? So you remember Joash, he was a young boy, he was made the king. Before that, Athaliah, his grandmother, she was the queen running all our people, right, against the Most High God. And then now we get to Josiah, and he was a young boy and he was made the king, right? So keep light of all those situations, then think about what we go through today. Watch this. This is Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3, give me verse 10. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 10.
Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
He said, who are their oppressors?
Children are their oppressors.
He said, children are their oppressors, right?
And women rule over them.
And women rule over them. Where are we today? We're oppressed by the youth. Right now, you got all these youth. People scared to do anything to the youth. Because you know what? They might have anxiety. They might be depressed. I mean, it's just not good for them emotionally. We used to get punched in our darn face. You know what I'm talking about? We used to go to school, get punched in the darn face. I remember I was in the 5th grade and this kid told me he was going to beat me up. I don't know if he was in the 5th grade. He was in the 5th grade.
Y'all not.
And I was in the 4th or something like that. I was younger. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, I'm going to beat you up. Just like that. And the whole day I was terrified. He was big. You know what I'm saying? And I knew I couldn't take him. And I was like, goodness gracious. He was like, after school. I don't even know nothing about somebody telling y'all after school.
Yeah, that was bad.
You gotta sit there, think of a that thing happened in the morning on the way to school.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he said, after school,
I need to beat you.
I'ma beat you up. Whole day, I'm just sitting in my darn bowels. I'm just sitting there like, oh my goodness. Trying not to think about it, knowing that after school, he gonna go the same way as me and I'm gonna get beat up by this big old kid. Right? Now, thing played out. Nothing happened, saw me, didn't say nothing to me, and I didn't say nothing to him, kept it pushing. Rest of the year, we was all right, never got beat up. But that's the type of stuff we had to deal with. And a lot of kids actually did get beat up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you did get beat up, what you got to do? You get beat up, you learn that. I've been beat up before, you know what I'm saying? You learn it. Nah, I ain't that bad, you good. You know what I'm saying? Ain't the end of the world.
Right. I mean, because like for me, like getting bagged on and stuff like that, it taught me how to dress.
Yeah! These kids don't know how to darn dress. Everything they do is online.
Yeah, it taught me how to dress. It's like, you know what, I ain't gonna get talked about. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna fix
like,
it.
I needed that.
I'm gonna learn one thing. I'm gonna learn how to fight, and I'm gonna learn how to dress. Right?
Yeah, I needed that. Though.
It's different. Now, guess what? These kids freaking out because somebody said something to them on Twitter. Oh! Something they can just say, don't want to look at it. Right? I'm walking around in school all day, bows to my darn stomach, because I don't have a choice. I can't choose to just turn somebody off. If he want to have any problem with me, we going to have problems. If I'm going to get beat up, I'm going to get beat up. I don't have a choice. That's real bullying. Now it's cyberbullying. It's not even a real thing. I know, TJ. Right? These things not even a real thing. Right? How do you bully me cyber? You mean tell me if I unplug my computer, this all goes away? This whole issue, my whole problem right now, goes away as soon as I go like this. That ain't done. All right. Now that's done. What else am I going to do? Right? But this is what got our kids in depression, right? This is what got our kids taking medication and doing all these things. That's oppressing us, right? That's the definition of oppression. We're restrained in our opportunity because of these conditions of our kids. This stuff that we go. This is what the world set us up for, and they put the women ahead of us.
Yeah, because the woman can easily decide if the dad is in the picture or not.
Easily. You know why it's that way? By design. By design from the Most High God, for one, and then by design for the country, right? They moved all of our men out the way. Put us on drugs, jail. They was criminals. Killed us. Right? Got 3 options, right? Jail, drugs, kill. You get them all out the way, you get the women. You tell the women, yo, you can have this help from the government since a man's not around, but the man also cannot be around. You tell that to a poor group of people, and what do? Even if the man is around, it's not like he can provide for the family because he's coming out of jail, he's a drug addict, or he's running away from being killed. They're not going to treat the man fair. They're not going to give him his fair wages. They're not going to give him a good opportunity. So the man needs the help just as much as the woman do, right? But the woman, like, listen, in order for me to get this help and provide for my kids, guess what? I can't have you around. So guess when they come and check my house, you hide under the bed. Man's like, this is stupid. She's saying this is stupid too, because guess what? One time we got caught. They took away my benefits. Your butt better get out my house. So it drives a wedge between. Creates a woman that say, you know what? I can do this on my own. That was my grandmother. That was my mama. It's my sisters. Right? So we look at it and I can do this on my own. I can do this on my own. Man come into the life, try to provide. Don't know how, because guess what? He was raised by a woman. I can do this on my own. Don't know how to be a man. Takes advantage of women. Further causes a divide. Weak men, right? Weak men, not caused by women, right? That's not weak men caused by not having resilience. A man gotta have resilience. A man gotta say, I don't care what the government say, we'll figure this thing out. Don't take the assistance then if I can't be in the picture. Right? We'll figure this out. Let's go somewhere else. It's tough, and I ain't trying to make it seem like it's a man gotta be a man regardless though. A man gotta go into the woman and be like, no, you can't do this on your own. We here and we doing it together, and I'm gonna show you. That's a man. I don't accept the thing, you know what I'm saying? A woman gotta let a man be. I don't accept that as a word. I hate that phrase. Gotta let a man be a man. But if you already messed up, you feel like she gotta let you be a man. She just won't let me be a man. I don't know. She could stop you. That's the problem. Man gotta be a man. That's bottom line. You gotta be a man. Otherwise, what you here for? Get your butt on. That's book. The book lined it up that way. The women would rule. And that's where we are right now. The women rule. These women rule all of them, too. You throw a little Me Too on that thing, that thing just, yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to get darn Me Too. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? No, nobody want to get darn Me Too. Yeah, no, that's okay. Ain't even did nothing wrong. No, man, you go this way. Play that stuff. Ain't gonna get me. That thing come about me, they lying. I'll tell you right now. And I ain't buckling. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Like, nah, that ain't right. They can tell them lying on me, they lying. You know what I'm saying? Ain't listening to this stuff. Please, not tell them they lying too. You gotta be ashamed of yourself lying on me like that. I ain't writing no statement. Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't sorry, but I ain't did nothing. You nasty. You cut that out. Men and we. Happy wife, happy life. I don't disagree. Alright? Happy wife, happy life. That don't mean I'm about to compromise and make my darn wife. I'm gonna make her happy just like I already intended to make her happy. I ain't about to make her happy for the sake of, you know what I'm saying, for the sake of having a happy household. I make her happy because it's the right thing to do. Make her happy because I'm a darn man. Make her happy because I darn love her. I don't make her happy just, well, she giving me problems, so I just better buckle and do what she says. That crap, that don't make no darn sense. I ain't buckling for nothing but the darn truth. It's crazy. Women don't respect men. Some of them. They ain't got no respect. They ain't got nothing. See, low-key, all this stuff is just a psychological, you know, it's a psychological thing. We don't even know what we really want. Raise your hand. You know how many times in our life we got what we thought we wanted and realized, that ain't what I want. We don't know what we really want. So the decisions that we making them basing them off of what we think we want. Meanwhile, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes in our head that's what we really want. And we don't realize sometimes those things are not the same. So a woman, while she may think she really wants a man to be like, just do what she say and give her all the things she wants, in reality, she wants a man that can stand up and be strong and provide and be resilient. And sometimes, naturally, in the back of her head, she don't realize it. Sometimes she's testing that man. She's doing certain things and saying certain things to see if the man will buckle and bend. Because that's her way, subconsciously, she don't realize it's happening. Subconsciously, that's her way of knowing that she has a trustworthy man. That if he can stand up through this, and he can do that, especially if you have a damaged girl. Right? If you have a girl that grew up in that environment where I can do it all by myself, she's going to have a hard time trusting. Because she has to take away everything she's known. And that's why a lot of black men, weak black men, would say, I can't deal with a black woman. Right? So our women got a history. We got a history. They've had to deal with our history. Right? So then you bring them up and they look into this, and then it's a lot that they got to try to give up to trust your butt. Because you got a history of not being trustworthy, and she got a history of having to try to do it by herself. And you have to show her something to make a change. So you know what? Go get the easy ones. You know what I'm saying? Right? Go get the easy one. Go get me a white girl. Go get me a mixed girl. Right? Go get me this, that, and the other. Right? But at the end of the day, All these women are just women looking for a leader. White girl got darn issue too. They whole different is you don't even know they darn issue.
Unknown issue.
They got all these other issues. Don't let these people, these black dudes running around with these white girls, don't let them darn fool you. Them door darn closed, driving them boy darn nuts. Cause the average of them, not all of them, but the average of them was weak to get there. Not all of them. Some of them just make it, you like what you like, you love what you love. You know what I'm saying? I don't teach that stuff. You can't have, you know what I'm saying? You have whoever you want, no matter what color they are, no matter where they darn from. Right? I don't teach none of that stuff. But at the same time, we have to recognize that there are people who make decisions out of weakness. And if you did, then fine. If you married in that, then fine. Now you got to deal with it. But let's recognize, let's acknowledge it. Right? You go in, you make them decisions, you make a move, do whatever. Now we got to fix stuff. We got to bring it together. We have to encourage. Don't be running away from our women just because you running away from our women. You want to run into what you want. Get what you want, whatever it is that you want, whatever you can deal with, whatever you can commit to and be with for the rest of your life. That's what you do. I get it. I understand. Don't bite off more than you can chew. But at the same time, the women are looking for a man to stand up. Don't be intimidated by this stuff. They gonna throw everything against the darn wall. You just keep darn standing. Woman come down, buckle and polish your darn shoe because you the best thing walking. That's all she's looking for. She's looking for something trustworthy that she can follow through the darkness. Been in the darkness all her darn life. She ain't seen nothing but men but failed her. And you expect to just walk in there and she just do whatever and you ain't earned nothing? That's crazy. That's nuts. You lost your darn mind. Yeah, she gonna wild out in your butt. Yeah, she gonna test your butt. You know what she been through? Subconsciously, she don't even know it. You know her history? Do you respect our history? You think you gonna walk in and that's it? That's crazy. You nuts. You don't deserve a black woman. What's wrong with you? I don't even know what we were talking about.
We were doing
Exodus.
We did what?
Exodus. What was in Isaiah?
We was in Isaiah. Yeah. Give me 2 Kings. Give me 2 Kings chapter 22. Give me verse, where we at, 19? It's 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. Let's see what the book say. Need some more water. It's 2 Kings chapter. It's 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 19.
Because your heart was tender, you have humbled yourself before the Lord when you heard what I spake against this place and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and have ripped your clothes and wept before me. I also have heard you, says the Lord. Behold, therefore I will gather you unto your fathers, and you shall be gathered into your grave in peace. And your eyes shall not see all the evil which I will bring upon this place.
I appreciate the Most High God. Sometimes, man, you don't even realize, man, some of this stuff dying is a blessing for us. The man said, listen, everything you read, that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Most High God, listen, Most High God ain't compromising for y'all butts. What's wrong with us? Thinking the man gonna compromise? He not. Everything I say, I gotta do what I say. We read it the other week. The man said, you deny him, he gonna deny you. You don't believe, well,
he's still gonna be here.
the man still gonna be faithful to what he said. Now that's crazy. Man, ain't like the man gonna be like, all right, well, forget it then. Nah.
Can't deny itself.
He can't deny it. That thing don't make no sense. Man said, I'm gonna figure it out now. Gotta keep this promise and this promise. All right, so I gotta curse the land. But you alright. You know what I'm saying? You humbled yourself before me. So what can I do? I tell you, I'm just gonna kill you before I do it all. No. The only reason I'm killing because I don't want you to have to see it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to have a good life. After that, I'm gonna make it terrible for the rest of you boys. Deal? You know what I'm saying? What you supposed to say? Alright. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'll let you live your full life. But as soon as your butt die, I'm gonna let these boy darn have it.
Your son's gonna get it.
Right? How you supposed to feel about that? Like, alright.
All you do is tell your son, like, boy, look.
Y'all better get together.
At least it ain't me. Right? You gotta understand that's his attitude.
Yeah.
At least it ain't me. That was somebody's attitude.
Hezekiah.
That was Hezekiah. What the Hezekiah? We might skip something on Hezekiah.
Yeah, it was Hezekiah. Because he was like, what'd you show them in your house? He was, I showed them everything. He was like, you know what? Since you did that, they gonna come up in here and take it out. He was like,
We did skip that.
He was like, but I'm gonna let you go to your grave in peace though. And Hezekiah was like, so be it. You know what I'm saying?
We
Praise the
did
Lord.
skip that.
Yeah.
But that was the conversation after he showed the stuff in the house. Most High God asked him. He's like, what you showing? Okay, well, since you did it that way, you know what I'm saying? That thing gonna happen to your son. Let's go, man. All right. At least it ain't me. Right? Remember, Hezekiah's son was Ammon. Didn't happen to him. Right? Ammon's son is Josiah. Most High God telling him, oh, it ain't gonna happen to you. Right? Most High God had this planned out from back here. You understand? From back here. Even before this, he had it planned out. So he just letting Hezekiah know. He's not telling, a lot of people will read that and he's like, oh, Hezekiah, you did something wrong. He's not looking at Hezekiah like, oh, you did something wrong. He's telling Hezekiah, he's going to let you know what you did is what I'm about to use to punish your sons because they going to sin against me. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You good. I'm going to light them boy. I'm going to light they butt up. That's what he told Josiah. He's like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to live your full life. And I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get them. That's everybody. That's 20?
That was the end of 22.
That's the end of 22? Grab, well, just go to 23. Let's keep going.
And the king sent, and they gathered unto him all the elders of Judah and Jerusalem. And the king went up into the house of the Lord, and all the men of Judah and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, and the priests and the prophets and all the people, both small and great. And he read it in their ears, all the words of the book of the covenant, which was found in the house of the Lord. And the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before the Lord to walk after the Lord and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all their heart and with all their soul to perform the words of this covenant that were written in the book. And all the people stood to the covenant.
Okay. Jump on down to verse 14. What verse was that?
4.
4. Go on down to verse
3.
14. Well, we can read 4 then. You said it.
And the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, the high priest, and the priests of the second order, and the keepers of the door to bring forth out of the temple of the Lord all the vessels that were made for Baal, and for the grove, and for the host of heaven, and he burnt them He burnt them outside of Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron, and carried the ashes of them to Bethel.
All right, get them things out of there. All right, go ahead and jump down to 14.
And he brake in pieces the images and cut down the groves and filled the places with the bones of men. Moreover,
who else was doing this? We just read it.
what? Break in pieces the images and the groves. Manasseh did it. Well, no, Manasseh didn't break the groves. He just set up.
No, Josiah. Well, I'm sorry. Josiah did it, and we was reading about it somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel and the high place which Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, had made, both that altar and the high place he brake down and burnt the high place and stamped it small to powder and burnt the grove. And as Josiah turned himself, he spied the sepulchres that were there in the mount and sent and took the bones out of the sepulchres and burnt them upon the altar and polluted it, according to the words of the Lord which the man of God proclaimed, who proclaimed these words. Then he said, what title is that I see? In the middle of the city told him, it is the sepulchre of the man of God, which came from Judah and proclaimed these things that you have done against the altar of Bethel.
Do y'all remember? Y'all don't remember. Y'all don't even know what he's talking about. Grab 1 Kings chapter 13. I love this thing. Y'all just have to understand how the Most High God worked. Way back here, we about to read. Way back here, Jeroboam, first king of Israel. Right? We approaching the last king of Judah. And this prophecy was told to us way back during the first king of Israel. All right? Watch this.
13 what?
This is 13. Give me verse 1.
And behold, there came a man of God out of Judah by the word of the Lord unto Bethel, and Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense.
Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. Remember, this is right after Jeroboam set up the altar in Bethel and another altar in Dan in the north, right? He made golden calves. The reason that he did this was what? Who remembers the
He
reason?
didn't want them to leave them to go to Judah. Right?
He didn't want the people to go to the temple in Judah. He even made his own holidays, right? Just like these people make Christmas and all this stuff to keep us away from our days, right? So he created his holidays, made his golden calf, and he made these altars. So now Jeroboam is down there at the altars. The man of God who was sent from the Most High God came and he said what?
And he cried against the altar in the word of the Lord, and said, O altar, altar, thus says the Lord, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David.
He said, a child shall be born unto the house of David. Watch this.
Josiah by name.
His name shall be Josiah. We already read this. He said his name gonna be Josiah. Watch this.
And upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon thee, and men's bones shall be burned upon thee.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave a sign the same day, saying, This is the sign which the Lord has spoken. Behold, the altar shall be ripped, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass when King Jeroboam heard these sayings, heard the sayings of the men of God, which he had cried against the altar in Bethel, that he put forth his hand from the altar.
Jeroboam put it forth in his hand. He about to tell him.
Lay hold on him.
He about to tell his people, lay hold on him. Right? He put forth his hand and tried to tell him, get his butt. Watch what happened.
And his hand which he put forth against him dried up, so that he could not pull it into him again.
That darn shriveled up. Just dried up and that thing just stuck just like that. He couldn't even pull it in again. His hand just darn stuck, just shriveled up just like that. Right? And he couldn't even pull it in. You remember what happened to the man of God?
He said, don't go back the same way you came.
Most High God told him, go there, but don't come back the same way you came. What happened to him?
Not eat with
He
anybody.
ended up eating someone that said he was a prophet.
That's right.
And the prophet said that he can go eat.
That's right.
He ate and he died.
Yeah.
Lion ate.
Man of God died. Prophet was all right.
The prophet that lied was I.
Then, cold thing is, Most High God gave him a prophecy after that. Right? The prophet that lied, Most High God gave him a prophet because he was really a prophet. Right?
Yeah.
Most High God gave him a prophet after that. Prophecy after that. Right? It's important for us to understand how the Most High God works. Right? I committed this to you. All right? You didn't uphold it. It's a glorious thing that be carrying the words of the Most High God. Ain't no small thing. That's a glorious thing. And you gonna mess that up? Like you heard directly from God, you gonna mess that up? Oh, okay. It's something different now. It's a whole different type of punishment now. Let's go back. This is give me Revelation chapter 20. We'll get up out of here. It's Revelation chapter 20. Give me verse 11 real quick. Right? But it's important. This prophecy is way back there. Name the man by name, Josiah. Josiah by name. Said he gonna grind up and offer to preach. That's exactly what Josiah did. You gotta understand, Josiah ain't read it. He didn't know nothing about that. He looked at it. But it takes somebody who kept the records to be like, oh, well, look at that. According to the darn book. Watch it. Keep going. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 11.
And I saw a great white throne, and on him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open. And another book was opened, which was the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those books, things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
This is the what?
Second death.
You call it what you want to. Every man gonna be resurrected and brought back. It's gonna be everybody. Ain't nobody. Everybody gonna be rebuilt, put back the darn together, and brought back. Right? You die, you gonna be resurrected. Somebody or some people are gonna end up going to the second death. That means they die again, and then others will live forever. And you call it what you want. A man told me. He said. That don't make sense because if you burn forever, technically, you're eternal. You call it what you want to call it. I'm telling you what the book. I'm not into you define, call, name, whatever you want to. I'm telling you how the book defines it. You define death however you want to. I'm telling you what the book is calling it. Right? It's important to make them distinct because sometimes we think we got to figure it out. We think we know what it means. Right? I'm just trying to tell you what the book say. I don't care what makes sense to us, what makes sense to you. Books say that's the second death. Your butt burning forever is the second death. Death is defined for me. That thing, the first death, me sleep. Second death, that's somebody else. Ain't gonna be me. That's somebody else burning forever. I got that. I ain't got no reason to even argue. Nobody. You say what you call it whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't arguing about nobody. That's crazy. That don't make no sense. You gonna burn forever though. That book. Slice it however you want to. All right. You call that eternal life if you want to. Man call it second death. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to call it.
Why does it matter?
That thing. Let me tell you what don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you call it when you burn forever. You know what I'm talking about? You call it darn dog poop. What is that blue dog poop? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get on out of here. Any questions? All right, let's pray out.